Hello, Bricktopian here, and I've been doing lots and lots of little videos about how certain Lego themes will be doing certain sets in the future, how I'm predicting and hoping that they'll go in terms of what choices they'll make. But one of the ones I haven't done or discussed is the Lego art theme, and I think that's something that's a lot of people either love or hate. I don't think it, well, not necessarily, but I feel like it's either one of people's favorite themes or probably one of their least favorite themes. I quite like the art theme. I think it's quite good. I like mosaics because I feel like that they're really like different from anything else Lego does, because they're sort of somewhere in between doing a puzzle, doing a normal Lego set, and doing something like colour by numbers. So they're actually like a nice balance between different hobbies and different mediums, I should say. So I think that they're quite good, and I like the fact that if you wanted to use loads and loads of 1x1 tiles that you got from bricks and pieces, or pick a brick or something, you could it wouldn't be too difficult to do a mock of your own mosaic, of like a picture of yourself or of something, like, because unlike they do a mosaic maker you can get through Lego, but if you wanted to do something with more color usage and more interesting shapes or things like that, then you could just buy a load of 1x1 tiles or studs and just do it sort of manually yourself, rather than buying the mosaic maker. So that's what you could do. But there's been some good ones so far, but there's been some I don't like quite so much. I really like the Marilyn Monroe one, which is one I have. I mainly like that one because I really like how vibrant and colourful it is, and I thought it'd go well with my Downtown Diner modular set because it's got the same sort of colours, and also it's set in the same 50s time period, decade. And my girlfriend has the Mickey and Minnie mosaic, which I think is quite good. I'm not into Disney as much as she is, so I haven't bought that one myself, but I think it's a good idea, and it was inevitable. I basically predicted they were going to do that one instantly, and also another one I predicted accurately was that they would do an Elvis one, and they're going to be doing an Elvis one this year, later in the year. And I predicted from the last wave that came out, I predicted that the next wave would definitely have an Elvis one in and a Mickey mosaic. I predicted those two would definitely be the case, and I don't know what the Elvis one's going to look like, but I think it'll be quite good, because I think that it might hopefully be quite retro looking, like Marilyn Monroe. I don't know if it's going to be actually just a general one of Elvis, like taken from a photograph of him, or if it's going to be based on a painting that someone's done of Elvis, like from a famous artist like Andy Warhol did Marilyn Monroe. I don't know. I think it might be a photo, but I kind of hope it'll be an art piece, because I think that would be more colourful, whereas if it's a photo it might be in black and white, and I don't really want a black and white mosaic that much. I mean, it'd be alright, but I don't know. I don't think they'll do a black and white one though. I just don't, because I mean, like the Beatles, they're not in black and white, are they? I don't really like the Beatles ones much, but I don't hate them. But I'm not really into the Beatles as much as Elvis, so that's partly why I haven't bought those. I might buy an Elvis one. I don't know. I'm not like the biggest Elvis fan in the world, but I certainly like Elvis. And then they've done some other ones. They've done the Hogwarts ones of the Hogwarts crests for the different houses, and then they did the Iron Man one, and then they've done the Sith art one, which gives you either Darth Maul or Darth Vader. And I like the Star Wars one because I am a Star Wars fan, but I just thought it was quite dark, and I was trying to find something to brighten up my room rather than making it darker, because I have a lot of black furniture and I don't really want more black. But I still think it's a good build, and it's probably my next favourite one out of the ones that are available. up after the Mickey and Minnie one that my girlfriend has, and the Marilyn Monroe one that I already have. After those two, but yeah, I think the next ones they'll do will probably be something along the lines of another, probably another popular license theme one, because they've done Harry Potter one and a Star Wars one, which are like the two biggest Lego license themes, and then they've done Iron Man, which comes under the Marvel theme. So they've done one for those three big massive license themes. So I don't know what could be next. I'm trying to think. What's another big licensed theme that they do? Obviously Disney is as well, again, and they've done Disney. So that's actually four big licenses. But after those, I can't really think of that many other big licenses that they've done really that are on their level of those four. I mean, they could do something else from Disney, because they've got obviously other Disney stuff, so they could do like one from Frozen or something, or they could do one from Toy Story, or one from, I don't know, maybe yeah, something like that. I don't know. Or they could do, yeah, something from Trolls, maybe, because Trolls is another theme that they do that's licensed, or even Minions. Minions could even be on that list. But none of those I would personally want. But I see them doing possibly a Minions one. I'm not saying they will, but I think it's possible. But obviously that's not nowhere near as iconic as Mickey Mouse, so I don't know for sure if that will happen. I'd say a Frozen one is probably more likely, because they've done more Frozen stuff, like with the little Olaf snowman they did, and they've done the Elsa's castle and stuff, and that I'm not interested in really Frozen stuff either. But I think that's one of my predictions, though. I'd say that they'll eventually do is a Frozen one from Disney. I think that could happen. Maybe I'm thinking maybe they could do something like a Batman one. I think a Batman one is pretty likely. Batman's DC, so that would be different to Marvel. I think that one is pretty likely, because I heard rumors already that they might do a Batman one at the same time as the Elvis one comes out. And obviously I know they're doing a globe one and a world map one as well, which is going to be massive. It'll probably be like the biggest piece count for a set so far, because it's going to be like, by the sound of it, it's going to be like four of them combined, or five of them combined. So it's going to be like how you can combine some of them if you buy more than one copy. They're going to basically do it as one set though for that one, so that's going to be massive. So I don't know if they'll probably do other ones on that massive scale at some point, but I don't think there's many others that I can think of that would be as necessary to do that as a world map, because obviously a world map needs to include a lot of detail. They can't really miss out loads of different countries or anything. But I think, yeah, a Batman one's likely. I think a Frozen one is likely for Disney. And then I don't know what else for licensed stuff. I would like to see a Stranger Things one. I think that would be pretty awesome, because that's a license they've done, but they've only done one set of that, and I'm starting to have doubts that they'll do another Stranger Things set now, because it just seems like they would have done one by now if they'd planned on it, considering how that set's been out, I think like 2 years, is it now? I don't know. But I would love to see like a Demogorgon as a mosaic. That would be pretty cool, with the Stranger Things logo or something. That would be pretty awesome. But I don't think it's likely, but it's still something that I would hope for, not necessarily think I'm going to get. Trying to think what else. As for themes, what they could do crossover of, but not necessarily licenses, I think they could do a Ninjago one. I think that's possible, because that's obviously like another Lego theme, but it's not a licensed one. They could. I would like to see them do a Ninjago one, especially with all the artwork we've seen with the collaboration with Hype and stuff like that. So they obviously see the very artistic side of Ninjago and all the like 2D artwork style you can get out of it. So Ninjago one, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do eventually, because they've crossed over in other themes before with Ninjago, because they've done Ninjago and Brickheads before, and I can't remember what else, but I think there was something else. But yeah, I've done Ninjago and Brickheads before, so I think if they did Ninjago in the art theme, that would be pretty cool. Especially because I love the Ninjago cities. I thought they could even do like a 2D version of the Ninjago city set, like as a mosaic, something similar, that sort of art style, like a architectural mosaic. I don't know. I think if they do one, it'll probably be based on one of the characters though, rather than that. So that's my another prediction I'd give, that they'll do a Ninjago mosaic of one of the characters, probably Kai or Lloyd or something. So that's another thing I think. I also see them doing some other artists. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a Picasso or Da Vinci or something mosaic. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know for sure, but I think having a Starry Night one is not likely now. I would have said that one, but now though, the fact that there's an idea submission that's been approved to be made as a set for that, I think they won't do a mosaic of it, because I feel like it's too similar to that. So I think they'll probably not do that one now, because they'll do it in the ideas line for that. But I think they could do something like the Scream, which is a famous painting, or the Mona Lisa, or something like that. Or I wouldn't mind seeing something from MC Escher, like the one with the infinite staircases. That'd be quite cool, but that's in black and white, so I don't know if it'd work. But I'd like to see something like that where they had minifigures as the people, because I've seen people do 3D representations of that in Lego, and that's quite cool. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I don't know what else. I'd like to see a Dali one, maybe Salvador Dali doing like the melted clock or something as a mosaic, but I don't know how easy that would be to make it come out. But yeah, I definitely see him doing other artist stuff, and I would say one Marilyn. I would say Mona Lisa. They'll probably do. That's one of my predictions, is Mona Lisa. They'll do at some point. I think they will. And then beyond that, I think another Star Wars one will happen. They'll do a Jedi one, because they've done the Sith art one, so obviously they're going to end up doing a Jedi one. They'll probably do one where instead of having Darth Vader and Darth Maul, it'll probably be something like Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker, or Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker, or something like that, and that would make sense. And I think that would be quite popular for people who have bought the Sith one, because they'd want them together. So that's another one of my predictions. I think that will come soon. I think there'll definitely be one of those pretty soon. And then Harry Potter, I don't know if there'll be another one. There could be one of Hedwig, maybe, because they've done the Hedwig in other stuff, like the Owl Hedwig one with the moving wings that they did from last year. So they could do a mosaic of that, but I don't know. It wouldn't be as interesting because it's one colour. The owl's mostly white, but that's possible. But I'd still say it's not one of my top predictions. I think that if they were going to do another Harry Potter one, it might be of the main characters, like where they could do one of Harry, and then you can change it to Ron, and then change it to Hermione, and then maybe have a fourth one, and maybe change it to Malfoy or Voldemort or something. So that's possible, or Dumbledore even. So I think that's likely. I think that'll happen at some point, but I'd say that one isn't as likely as them doing another artist one, or them doing another Disney one, or another Star Wars one. I think they're more likely. And then I think that we'll probably get another iconic like idol from history, because I think, because we've got Elvis and we got Marilyn Monroe, I think it would make sense to have someone like Muhammad Ali or Bob Marley or something like that. I think would work. And Bob Marley one I think would work really well, because they could do one of his famous album covers, and it could have the reggae coloured background with the yellow, the green and the red, and I think that would look really good, and his hairstyle would be interesting to do with lots of black tiles. So that's another prediction. I think a Bob Marley one will happen. I think will happen. And then beyond that, I think they might do, I don't know, I think they'll probably do a landscape one, with just like a general landscape, not necessarily a painting by an artist, but like a landscape or a cityscape of like London or something, like an architectural one. like from the architecture line, some of the ones they've done from that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do like one of London or something. I think that's going to happen. I bet they do a London mosaic. That's another prediction, I would say. And then beyond that, I think they could do maybe, I'm thinking they might do a vehicle one, like with a car as a picture, but I don't know yet. I don't know, because it depends if they feel that it would look enough like a car, but that's possible, but it's still not one of my top predictions, so I wouldn't count that as one of my predictions on this video, because it's not a top choice though for me of what I think they'll do. I think a landscape or a cityscape is more likely. An animal one would be pretty good. I think they'll definitely do an animal one at some point, but I don't know when. I don't think that'll be the next one they'll do, but I think they will happen at some point. Like a tiger would be good, or a cat or a dog one, because they do animals in Lego, especially in the creator line, so I think it'd be nice to get something adult orientated for animal stuff. And I'm even hoping that in the art line they'll do not just even mosaics, possibly. I'm even thinking, as it's called Lego art, maybe they won't even just have mosaics, you never know, they might end up doing sculptures, and I'd like to have like an animal sculpture in the art line. That's something I'm hoping and sort of predicting they'll do, like a sculpture of a cat or a dog or something, but in the 18+ style, so it looks more mature than, say, just them little poly bags you get in Creator or anything like that. So that's something I'm predicting too. That's another one of my top predictions, I would say. And then to wrap up this video, because I could go on and say other things that I think they could do. There's quite a few good things they could do, but the last things I like them to do or predict they'd do would be either countries' flags, so like a US flag with the stars and stripes and all that. That would work. I think that could happen. They could do different countries' flags, but the thing is, if they do that, then they might have to do quite a lot, because otherwise people will feel left out and might not like it if they don't do certain countries. But an American flag is possible, I would say. I would say that could happen, and a Union Jack could happen as well. Although I don't know, because it might appeal more to only that country, whereas a lot of other people won't want other countries' flags as a set. But it's possible, and I also think they could do, oh, and the other thing, is I'm thinking they could do some other brands, like brands rather than just licenses. So like they could do Coca-Cola, because I think Coca-Cola is really iconic art-wise, and it's very like popular, even just to look at, even the logo and everything. So I feel like that would make sense for them to do a collaboration with Coca-Cola and do one of like based on one of the old retro vintage advertisements for Coca-Cola. And they could have like one of the women posters holding the Coke can or something, and they could do that. I think that would be really popular, and it would go well with the Marilyn Monroe one and the Elvis one as well, because it's the same sort of time period focus point. And yeah, and a lot of people buy sort of Coca-Cola art on things. You can get it on loads of stuff, Coca-Cola, like on phone cases and on magnets and everything. So it's not like it would be something people wouldn't want. They could do other brands, like they could do like one of their other collaborations, they could do like a Levi thing or something, but that would be quite boring. It would just be like a writing or something. But Coca-Cola is very visual in its colours and its design and its advertisement. So yeah, Coca-Cola is one of my top predictions. So my top predictions basically would be another art piece like the Mona Lisa. I would say Mona Lisa they'll probably do. I think they'll do a Jedi set for Star Wars with Luke or Obi-Wan as alternative builds. I think they'll do a Disney one of Frozen, probably of one of the characters from Frozen, and then I think they'll probably do a Batman one from DC, and I think they'll do a Bob Marley one for the reggae one, and to go along with the iconic people from history like Marilyn Monroe and Elvis. I think they'll do a skyline or cityscape one of London. I think that will happen. I think they'll do a Coca-Cola one eventually. I don't think it will happen yet, but I think it could, because it's so close to the lines of Elvis and Marilyn Monroe visually, and the fact that a lot of artists have done Coca-Cola stuff means that it would be a good choice. And then apart from them, Yeah, an animal one I think could work either as a mosaic or as a sub-theme of the art line and have it as a sculpture and do a tiger or a cat or a dog. So they're my predictions, yeah. That's what I think. They're the ones I think they're most likely to do. There's obviously lots of other things, like other Marvel characters they could do, like the Hulk or something, but them ones are less of a prediction for me. So they're my top predictions anyway, yeah. As for ones I'd really like them to do, but I still don't think that are that likely, would be a Stranger Things one of the Demogorgon or the Upside Down or something. I'd really like them to do a Ninjago one, and I think that could happen as a prediction, but it's not as likely perhaps as the other ones I've just said. And I'd quite like them to do one of a car, like of a Mustang, like to go along with the creator expert vehicles they do have, but they could do it based on them posters you get, like with VIP points where they do them downloadable wallpaper backgrounds. They could do like something like that as a mosaic, but that would be something I'd like to see. And then beyond that, I'd like them to do probably, I don't know, I'd like them to do Salvador Dali, one of his melting clock pictures or something like that. That'd be cool. So they're the things I'd like them to do the most. And I wouldn't mind them doing some different films as artwork, films that perhaps that are not from existing licenses, so not Star Wars or Harry Potter. I'd like to see them do some other films. And music wise, I don't know. Music wise, yeah, Bob Marley would be a good choice, and I think that there's a lot of others they could do, and I think the Rolling. Oh, another one that I definitely think they'll do is the Rolling Stones. I think they'll definitely do them, and I think that they might either do the band members like they've done with the Beatles, or they might even do the Rolling Stones logo, because that logo is so famous artistically wise, the one with the tongue out, and I just think that would make a lot of sense. That's another one of my top ones actually. But as for other musicians, I'd like them to do either probably I like them to do Frank Turner, because he's my favourite artist, but that's really unlikely, so I'm not going to predict that. Anyway, I hope you like this, and thanks for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe to more predictions and hope videos and reviews and things. Okay, thank you, goodbye.